Here we go on my new CB500XA. I think the A stands for ABS, which it does have. I'm still getting used to the pegs right back. Something I'm not used to. They're right underneath you. I'm still not quite used to the stance or the sit, I suppose, the way you sit. Gotta get some petrol on the way home, I guess. Oh hell, I meant to bring my GPS and stick it on the tank so I could see how accurate the speedo is. It feels as though it's doing what it says it's doing. I took the liner out of my jacket today. Because it's about 26 degrees Celsius. Nice and warm, a bit cloudy, but that's okay. And it's Father's Day here in Australia, so I just had a lovely breakfast of pancakes at home. We had a lovely pack of Cuban cigars. So now just for a quiet little toddle in the country. I don't know why everyone's in the left-hand lane turning right. Gearbox is still pretty clunky, although nowhere near as clunky as my old Cruiser used to be. which is still fairly clunky because it's only got, oh, that says 2.9 kilometers. I think I put about 160 kilometers on it last weekend, so it's still brand new. This little area here, you jump on the highway and it's 80, and then about 100 meters down the road it drops to 60, so it's a bit of a trap here for unwitting riders. We're right to go. Yep. It's 80 here. And just down the bottom of the hill it's 60. And they police it pretty vigorously too, so I might just cruise along here quietly. I heard someone say the other day that they don't like, the only thing they don't like about this bike, it was a YouTube review, is the indicators. They call them Shrek ears. I can see why, but I quite like them. They don't stick out too far, which is what I like. and down here I think it's 40. And they have changed it up. There's been a lot of road works around here. All this is brand new. Here we are, 40. God knows why. I think the road works are just about finished. But there you have it. And we turn into the 100. You may see oncoming riders nod their head. That's the custom in Australia. Just to say good day. Slow poke here, and guys, although the myth is that cruiser riders don't acknowledge other riders, and you do see that a bit, but when I was riding my cruiser, I used to get nods all the time, so maybe they just like to nod to each other. I might just nip around the sky quickly. Wasn't even speeding. Last week when I went out for a ride, the battery must have died on my camera pretty much straight away, so this is the first filming I'm doing on the new bike. What are you doing, mate? Not turning in front of me. Thank you. But there were crosswinds on the highway. They were gusty crosswinds, probably 40-50 kilometers an hour, so it was quite the adventure. You'd just be riding along and all of a sudden you get hit with a brick wall to the left hand side. But I must admit, as upright as this bike is, it wasn't scary at all. On the cruiser I hardly ever felt it because that thing weighed about 250 kilos, I think. Oh, actually more. This bike is a lot lighter. It's still 190, I think 194 kilos. It's still a lot lighter and much more upright. So but today it's pretty nice. There's a gentle breeze, as you can see probably from the trees. It's not moving around too much, just a gentle breeze, about 26 degrees, cloudy with spots of sunshine, my boys. And I even took the line around on my jacket this morning, so I think it's the 7th of September today. So we're 6 days into spring here, and it's just gorgeous. Come on, little yellow, what are you doing? I think we're coming into Fernvale, a little village up ahead, a little town called Fernvale. We're coming into that pretty soon, so I won't bother racing around this guy. I had a cruiser before this, a Honda VT400, and this bike is just chalk and cheese. It's surprisingly more comfortable. The seat is much more comfortable. I don't get any lower back pain because I'm probably riding in a more upright position. It has twice the speed of the Honda Shadow. It has probably 3 times the acceleration, and the handling is just amazing. The tyres on this bike that came with it are a Pirelli Scorpion. They call them a cross type tyre, but you know, for adventure style riding as well. But I can't see that. They look to be purely a road tyre to me. I won't be doing any adventure style riding on this bike. I really don't think it's made for it. The CB500 series, they came out with 3 models. There's the F, which is the standard naked model, and the R, which is the the racer full fairing job, and this one, the X, and I have the ABS model, so it's the XA. It's exactly the same motor, same frame, same body. It's just that the steering, the handlebars they're much higher, and there's more travel and suspension on this bike than the other two. And I think that's about the only difference. It has slightly less fairing than the R, but more than the F. Now up here is the Ferndale markets. I think it's most Sundays of the month. It's a fairly popular market. They have all sorts of people selling things, all sorts of different type of things. Back there, I don't know whether you noticed in that yard there was a bike, and I didn't quite understand. I saw it last week and I didn't quite understand what it was, because it looked like a sidecar on the side of the bike, but the rider was actually sitting in the sidecar part, and now I realise what it was, because there he was sitting beside it in his wheelchair. So he must have his bike modded up to just wheel onto and control from the side. Well, good on him. One thing you do see a lot on this road is the road from Brisbane out to a place called Toogoolawah, or Esk, and you see a lot of bikes and a lot of caravans and campers. Because out here there's a lot of lakes. There's quite a few lakes and camping grounds, and free camping too. Quite often see people actually camping, free camping down off this bridge in that spot where the car is, in the river. But if you want a bit of luxury, this thing up ahead of us looks as though it's kitted out, air conditioning, the whole works. And he'll plug into one of the lakeside campsites at probably at Wivenhoe, Lake Wivenhoe or Somerset up here. Now if you want a pretty adventurous road to ride on, there's a turn off up here. It'll take you up to the mountains, Mount Mee and Mount Glorious. This is the turn off up here where most of the sport type bikes head to. And just about every weekend there's a bike smashed up into the trees. Sometimes with the riders as well. Hey guys, have a nice Sunday. There's nowhere really to overtake for a fair while here. So I might try and see if I can zip out on these guys soon. What have I been riding for now? Probably, I don't know, 30 minutes? By now, my arse would be starting to feel sore and my lower back would be starting to hurt.